Rex.
This is new, isn't it?
It's a little bit different. It's
a lot different to the.
I feel like I've sort of gone from a small sedan to we've got a Holden V8 now, or something.
One of the old ones. No, one of the old ones, a brand spanking new V8.
Anyway, it's special. But maybe, why are we here?
Well, I think quite a few people messaged in to say that the sound quality wasn't particularly good in Al Nakheel Villas. I mean, super place, but didn't really come up to scratch. Kids eating ice creams, making a lot of noise.
Well, it was. I agree. It was sad. I mean, we had a fantastic interview with the great Tom Urquhart.
I know, and it was good chat. And quite a few people said, look, they just either turned off or they stuck it out, but it was really annoying. So anyway, here we are. Where are we?
I mean, we had this. We had this idea, and I think it was good when we started on the 9th of December to be in a bar, a little bit of noise and things like that. But I think we just realised that if we wanted to take it a step further, we needed to lift what we were doing. So
and here we are. So where are we?
We're in Crush TV.
Okay.
And we were lucky enough to come across some great guys.
Yeah.
We've got Ted that's helping us out, and Luke James over at Zabilda Greens hooked us up here. Thanks, Luke, our good friend.
That's fantastic.
And somebody might say it manifested itself, and then 3 days later we are here and doing a test run.
Couldn't be a better time for it as well.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today? We're just going to have a very quick catch up because obviously we couldn't get Val in time this week, and Tom Cruise also sends his apologies, but we'll get him in a couple of weeks' time.
He's down in Abu Dhabi, by the way.
Is he? No. Well, we'll get him shortly. So we just thought we'd explain what we're doing now. We've got a bit of video and audio, which is great. And we're going to carry on with the same format. Hopefully we won't have any interruptions like we used to.
Yeah.
And we're at a kind of a juncture where we're about 10 or 11 in, and we thought we'd just have a quick hello and just talk about what we've done.
Well, I mean, if we go through quickly, when we started 9th of December, we did a few of ourselves just to understand what we were doing.
Yeah.
We interviewed the great Clive Reid, learning about Emirates. I mean, that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, I love Clive. I mean, he's a great talker. He's a proper Welsh orator, isn't he? And the great stories about him in Africa, and then coming to join Gulf Air, and then working for Emirates when it was in its infancy was brilliant. Clive's not short of stories.
It was interesting. The feedback I got from Clive's interviews was a lot to do with his Uganda time. So it would maybe great to have him back again and talk more about his times with Idi Amin and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think definitely, and right up recently with Tom Urquhart as well. Tom's always, great to have on board every now and then. And if we get a few good people, then we can just bring a couple of our, I won't call them regulars, but some people that can add value and good can sing for their supper. So that would be great.
We had Clive, and then we had the Ryder Cup golfer David Howe.
Yeah, that was very good. But David was so afraid of getting COVID before his 2 or 3 local tournaments. He was speaking from about what sounded like 20 metres away. But
once again, that was a learning curve for us. And you're right. He was too far away. We didn't quite pick up exactly what he was saying on a lot of the stuff. We heard a lot about his caddy, which was great.
A lot.
He was a champion.
Yeah, as caddies go, he was very good.
Yeah. So David was good. Then we had David Laberge. MBE. Not OBE, as was put up on the side, MBE.
Kernel consistency.
I mean, that was brilliant. And numbers really shot up with David Laberge when he came on. Yeah. So he was great to have on board. And I think, as you say, potentially another regular. Yeah. Because there's different events. I mean, coming up is the 70.6 triathlon that happens in Dubai. Maybe get him on board again, because I'm sure he's competing in it to see what's going on. So he was brilliant. Then after that, the wonderful Apollo Perolini,
who I thought was absolutely amazing, actually, because he talked for about an hour and a half, hour and a quarter, and we had to cut some of out, and we didn't even get onto the rugby league. And what was so nice afterwards is that he said it's quite nice to be speaking to a few old fuddy-duddies and telling old stories about players that actually, as opposed to people that just say things like, what's your favourite player? What's your favourite colour?
Exactly.
And I thoroughly Never met him before, and I thought he was absolutely superb.
No, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be surprised to know that we finished shooting that about 8 o'clock, but didn't actually leave Al Nakheel till about 1 a.m.
Well, I have to say that for once I left early at about 8 o'clock because I had to go somewhere else. But I mean, he had a twinkle in his eye, and it looked as though he was enjoying himself, and that's the main thing.
There was a lot of stories told, so that was a pretty special night. And then obviously last week or last Saturday we had a great chat with Tom.
Yeah, no, I loved having Tom on board. It was great. He's such a good broadcaster, and he's always got a good couple of stories to tell.
Yeah.
And we'd love to get Tom back. So Tom, if you're listening, then come on back sometime, and don't get sucked into the world of some of the other podcasts that you can hear that obviously have enough time themselves on the radio pretty much every day of the week anyway. So I think the less is more.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think probably what we really want to know and what we need to talk about today is what we do, how we go on from there. I mean, as you'll see, we've got this wonderful screen here, which will allow us to talk globally to Val Kilmer, your good friend.
Yeah, obviously Val.
And other people that we've mentioned. Obviously, also Steven Seagal now lives in town. He won't have to do it.
No, we'll bring Mr. Seagal in.
Steven Seagal in. So it does open us up for guest interviews, interviews where we can get people on there. Yeah. So the world really is our oyster. And also, and I think a part that I really like what you said is not to pigeonhole ourselves into one genre, either sport or different things. There's so much going on in this magnificent place we are.
There's too much sport. So anything that's going to be connected with the region, whether it's a person coming through, what their thoughts are, what their experiences of Dubai, I think probably would be one of the things that we lean on more than anything.
Sure.
But whether that's sport, whether it's business, whether it's charity, whether it's anything social, then we'll get them on.
Is there anything we're going to draw the line at? Kardashians?
Yeah, I can safely say Kardashians because they're pretty well done, aren't they? We're looking for the next Kardashians,
right?
And whether they come from Dubai or whether they're just coming through, I don't know. But we'll work it out, as the Beatles said.
No, it's very exciting, and I certainly think this is the next step for the captain's table.
Well, it's good to be here. And
look, we're going to be obviously continuing on our Instagram and our YouTube channel. Now we can video it, so this will be all going up on there. And we're really, I tell you, one thing we will need is for people to be contacting us.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So, I mean, we love limited feedback that we get, and it's really nice when people just say, look, I'm really enjoying it and I love listening in.
Yeah.
And equally, it's good to know that the sound quality has been absolutely atrocious sometimes.
Yeah.
So, and that's driven us to doing this, so that's good.
Yeah.
But any ideas, suggestions, stories, anything at all, what you'd like to see or hear, importantly, and let's see what we can do.
And maybe even people that know people that could be interested to be on the show that could be a good story.
Yeah, I think
share the world.
I think that's really important, and particularly over the summertime when we're less likely to get people coming through. It ain't going to be that easy to get people all the time of some of the caliber of people that we've had so far.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, some reasonably high profile, but people like Clive, fantastic. People wouldn't have known him, but so many people kind of called in and said it was so interesting listening to him. So we can find more of those, and let's try and do it.
Absolutely. No, I think that's good. I mean, is there anything else we want to talk, or I think tonight could be the relaunch?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the relaunch, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Captain's Table 2.0.
Great.
Good
Good stuff.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.